Good afternoon, fellow patriots and defenders of democracy. Welcome to the madness. We're a little bit more enthusiastic and a little bit more upbeat, but then again, who knows? Let's see how this progresses. Now, in the event that you don't understand what's going on this week, wealthy people got upset that broke people came together and tried to make some money. A rich person and numerous other rich people nudged the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, to tell them to stop doing that because we're losing billions of dollars. The SEC and CEOs for numerous trading platforms obliged. And essentially, wiping out a possible $150 gain on a stock, which essentially rebounded the following day, but the point still remains that it was done. Outside of that, I'm going to be aggravatingly doing things in regards to pulling this stuff apart because it's coronavirus time and people still think they can use the excuse that it's coronavirus to not ship things in a timely manner. Because, yay, corporations! Refer back to initial introduction. So anyway, I've taken off the front bumper off of my GS 300. In the event you don't know what that entails, let me show you. Here is the bumper on the ground. Now, things to know once you're pulling apart old things, old rusty things and things that have been in impacts, or things that get dinged on, become damaged, rusted, and will typically break when you try to remove them. Now, the wonderful source of relaxation and comfort for you, in the event you want to do this, is a 10mm socket, preferably a deep well, because you're going to need to get back here. You're going to probably need about a 6-inch extension to get behind the fender, because these two things go in here, which are behind the fender, and behind what would be something that's missing from here. The plastic covering that's underneath most normal cars. So yeah, there's that. You're going to need a little ingenuity here, pulling up this lift thing. 2 other 10mm bolts. Another one of this. And on the other side, the other 10mm here. The other things you're going to need to remove, you can either unclip your marker lights. This is the back unclipping. And you're going to need to unclip your fog lights. Here goes the fog light, the back of it, in the event I was fumbling with the camera like an imbecile. And here goes the back of the marker light again. Even I was fumbling with it like an imbecile and didn't show it to you clearly. Things that would make this easier. Taking off front wheels. In the event you're going to service anything underneath there, that would make it easier to go at. 10mm bolt that bolts to here. This tab is broken because collision. There was another bolt here on this side, and I think there was one like somewhere here. And then you take out the headlights and disconnect your attaching headlight lighting assembly. Now, in terms of pulling off the passenger fender, here's a 10mm bolt. Here's another 10mm bolt. Here's another one. Here's another one. I haven't fully gotten to the point where we're finishing this, but these are Allen head screws. They're 4mm, or the 4mm works for me. I'm not sure if it's actually a 4mm. Where is it? Because I'm not looking at the back of it, I'm looking at the front. 4. These are 21mm things. In the event you want to zip that off quickly. And yeah, let's continue with this. Just for clarity, this brand is garbage. Breuer, whatever this is. It's garbage.
Ryan
Japan.
Little.
Please. This might be expensive. Oh, good times. Alright, initially when I was telling you there's two 10mm bolts behind the headlights, there'd be two 10mm bolts that belong here. Inside the car, behind headlight. I keep doing that. Behind headlight. Inside of car, the headlight would be here. These two bolts are here. Remember, this here, this bolt behind the door. This bolt right here. It's gonna be inside the, it's gonna be like inside of the panel itself. Is it inside? Then there's this one right here. It's gonna be on the very bottom. And those will let you take the entire front passenger panel off. So, I'm gonna keep going, taking off more things. I need to figure out how to approach the taking off of some of these things. Last time I told you this was broken, so I'm gonna need to replace this. And basically we just need to loosen up some of this stuff so that when they come it's easier to bolt them back on, but I don't even know if we should take this off fully. But yeah, that's... I have another video where I did the entire front suspension, so if anything, what you can learn from this is you need a 10mm, a Phillips head, a flathead, needle nose pliers to make things a little bit easier to pull off the front of this. And yeah, that'll be the gist of that. But outside of that, there's a situation that happened that I want to talk to y'all about. And I'd like you all to tell me if you think I was wrong or if I approached the situation wrong. So, give me a second. Alright, gentlemen, I'd like you to evaluate the situation I'm going to present to you. So, I'm at the gym. I'm on the Smith machine. I'm doing rear shrugs. Doing some rear delt shrug action. Trying to get it all balanced out. There's a gentleman next to me. Let's say about 2 feet. He's in the squat rack. Not that much space in between where you load plates on each side of what you're using to do what you're doing. Now, as we sit there, at like 2 sets, I left this machine and walked to the other corner of the gym. Put on some plates on another piece of equipment, and as we're getting ready to segue into doing those sets, I did a set. I have my gallon jug of water, my straps, my cell phone, and my AirPod case on the floor in front of the equipment. I walked around the gym. Enough time for it to clear and reset to get to the next set. This gentleman goes, takes off the 45 plate that I have on the equipment. So now the machine's out of balance. And he's using it to do weighted back raises. And I see him doing this as I'm walking back. So I see him do it. I pause. He didn't look up or acknowledge me at all. Mind you, we're the only two people in this corner of the gym. Alright. I took up a 45, brought it, put it on the equipment. He got done with his set, did whatever. I did another set, walked the gym, came back. He's finishing up his set. I now stop. And he's literally right there. So I'm like, hey man, why did you take the 45 plate off of the equipment you see me using? You didn't see me using it? It's like, oh, I didn't see you there. Now, I'm trying to figure out if that's what pissed me off, or if the sheer fact that he did it in general. So I'm there thinking, I'm like, right now I'm 200 pounds. And there's only two of us in the corner. And I'm like, what are the chances you didn't see me as using the machine literally 3 feet from you? Alright. He said what he said and he's walking off. Now he walked off. He's like, oh, you don't have to be a dickhead about it. And he's walking off. Okay. This sounds beautiful. I take my gloves off. He walks off. I walk over to where he at. I'm like, hey man, you took off the plates off of my equipment, which you had to walk past my water bottle, my cell phone, and my earpods with my straps right in front of you that you had to step over to take off my plate. Did your set, didn't acknowledge that I was there. When I asked you about it, you're gonna say, oh, you didn't see me, and then walking off, you're gonna tell me I'm being a dickhead. Now, if I came at you another way, you would hear that I'm violent and I'm instigating certain shit, right? It's like, oh, it's not that serious. I'm now right next to him, because I walked up right next to him, and he there talking. I'm like, yo, how do you want to handle this? Because it's kind of whatever right now. Oh, it's not that serious. I'm like, okay, so we can shake on it and leave it here, right? He's like, yeah. You ever have a grown man give you a bitch ass handshake? It's pretty much what he did. Now, this is my perspective of what happened. And I'm not finna really ask him what happened about his, but I still kind of feel like I should have punched him in the fucking face. To this day, I'm there looking at him like, long story less long. Do you think, because we just shook and we went on about our business and I left, how would you have handled that situation if you was in it? Because I still think I should stab him in the fucking neck. But then again, I'm a violent, angry person at heart. Which is why I stay away from most people. Because most people are some habitual line steppers. And this is like, listen fam, leave me alone. It's just like cause and effect. I think cause and effect line is blurred here. It's like a lot of people don't realize like, hey, you start here, you end here. 9 times out of 10, we only see where it ended. Nobody saw all the wonderful steps you had to take before somebody put their hands on you. And then everybody mad, like, oh, you should have reacted different. Like, nah, you should be lucky I didn't bash his fucking head in with a fucking 45-pound plate. don't know. Let's have a talk in the comment section if you even got this far. We'll get into it. But yo, next time I'll be slapping parts back on here. So if anything, please stay tuned. Tell me I need to go speak to my shrink again. Holla at your boy.